And we only get faster here. This is section 2, boys mile. Shaper of Thatcher. Again, you had to go 4:19.96 is our top seed. Brooks of Laguna Beach currently in 3rd. You saw him last night. Zach Gomez of Queen Creek out of Arizona. Romero of West Ranch. Gabriel Reuter of Drake. He went 4:19 at Stanford last week. Ethan Ronk of Newbury Park. He saw his teammate go 4:16. Perhaps he's going to try to match that right now. Matt Stanford Smith of Kamakian in Washington. Allred of Ogden. Sanchez of Terra Nova. Kabuska of Maria Carrillo, Salles of Glendale, Sweet of Point Loma, Montez of Ocean View, Nick Sauls of Torrey Pines, great 2-mile last night. Victor Goli of Burbank, a very good 2-mile as well. Swint of Maria Carrillo, Hightower of South Hills, Getchatu of Dos Pueblos, Atkinson of Thatcher. That rounds out your field. And we're getting, that's Hightower of South Hills. Hunter Sweet of Point Loma, right there on the shoulder of Brooks of Laguna Beach, and coming through at 66, so somewhat pedestrian for the talent of this field. It took a 4:23 to get into this section here of the boys mile. Currently in 5th, Gabriel Reuter, the senior out of Drake. He went 9:28 at Dublin, 4:19 at Stanford a week ago. And perhaps a little frustrated from last night's 4x1600 meters. And Shaper of Thatcher trying to move up and get to that front group, but your leader, Devin Hightower, South Hills. He went 4:20 at Covina last weekend, so obviously coming off a big rush. Brooks of Laguna Beach, part of that Division 4 state meet, cross-country champion squad. And Getatu of Dos Pueblos, also in that front group as well. So everybody in it, halfway through, 2:13. So these guys got to really get it going. They didn't come here not to break 4:20, and they're now starting to put some surges in there, led by Logan Brooks of Laguna Beach. Now we're talking, guys. Ford Shaper of Thatcher, he's gone 4:19.96. He's currently in 5th. Getchatu of Dos Pueblos right ahead of him. Sweet of Point Loma. And check that, that's Atkinson of Thatcher. Winslow Atkinson, he went 4:23 a couple weeks ago. So Hunter Sweet of Point Loma continuing to be right up there in this front group with 500 meters to go. Brooks, our transfer from Florida, joining that group at Laguna Beach this past cross-country season. Hunter Sweet of Point Loma. Now Colton Swith of Maria Carrillo making a charge. And 3:20. So let's see if these boys have a sub-60 in them. And right now, our boy from Point Loma, Hunter Sweet, he went 4:23 at Mount Carmel a couple weeks back. But right now, Devin Hightower, our early leader, now responding back with 300 meters to go. Sweet of Point Loma, Hightower of South Hills, Brooks of Laguna Beach, Colton Swith of Maria Carrillo continuing to get closer to that group there with less than 200 to go. Hightower and Brooks, South Hills and Laguna Beach. But Hunter Sweet of Point Loma still right there with these men with 100 to go. 4:07, 4:08. Hightower trying to run away with this one. This will be a huge breakthrough performance. Meanwhile, Atkinson coming on strong there for 3rd. 4:21.60.72 officially. That's going to convert under 4:20 for the 1,600 meters. Brooks of Laguna Beach, 4:21.96. Atkinson of Thatcher, 4:22.61. Swint of Maria Carrillo, 4:23.26. Sweet of Point Loma, 4:23.86. And Kampuska of Maria Carrillo, 4:26.62. That'll round out your top 6 there. Mr. Devin Hightower of South Hills, your victor there in Heat 2, boys mile. If we could have our head coach from Newbury Park, Sean Brosnan. If you could please report to the clerk of the course, Mr. Sean Brosnan, head coach of that incredible Newbury Park program. Our packed field and our fastest here of our morning session miles. Again, this evening, put your seatbelt on because you're going to see our seated and our invitational portions of this same event. And our boys trying to go under 4:10 later on this evening. In the meantime, we'll see if we have anybody going under 4:20 here. That's Rasmussen of Hart, Armstrong of Hurricane right there on his hip. He saw his younger brother running that Rising Stars about 15 minutes ago. So Rasmussen of Hart. That's Alex Frias of St. John Bosco. He's gone 4:20 this season. At 63. So this is our fastest first lap we've seen thus far. And Rasmussen of Hart High School, he went 4:16 a year ago. He was a Southern Section Division II finalist. But Frias, the junior out of St. John Bosco, right there in that front group as well. He looked smooth as heck on Thursday at his dual meet, and now getting ready to go under 4:20 here. But our trio getting after it here. That's Rasmussen, Armstrong, and Frias. So these three challenging the field to come after them. Armstrong in second. He comes from Hurricane High School in Utah. But now that field, Castellano of Upland starting to make a move there, right with Kyler Miller of Harriman, Utah. That was a 65. And Armstrong now a little impatient, moving into the lead. That's Caleb. He went 4:16.88 a year ago. And coming off a 4:22 effort at Pineview Invite a couple weeks back at Elevation. Alex Frias, the junior out of St. John Bosco. He went 4:20 at the Meet of Champions a couple weeks ago. And trying to match that surge of Armstrong. 600 to go through 44. That's Lars Mitchell of Huntington Beach now breaking out of that chase pack. But it continues to be Armstrong, Frias, and Rasmussen. Now making a good move here is Lucas Badcock of Doherty Valley, moving into fourth. But here we go, folks. 3:16, 3:16. So let's see how many of these guys, if they have a sub 64 in them. And Badcock, Doherty Valley, looked good last night in that 3,200 meters, and now starting to make a move towards our front trio. Armstrong, continue to be your leader, but now Rasmussen of Hart now responding. Rasmussen of Hart, that's arguably the toughest league in the state there in the Foothill League. Look at this, Badcock and Lars Mitchell Oh boy, 200 to go. We got ourselves a show here, folks. These boys push each other under 420. That 4:16.44 could be in jeopardy from what we saw in that Rising Stars, but it is Hart and Badcock. Rasmussen trying to run away with this one. But Lucas Badcock trying to push them all the way. They're looking at that clock. Huge push there at the back from Nathan Lance of Palos Verdes. And we're going to be under 420 there for our last session of the mile. 4:18.84 from Rasmussen. Badcock 4:19.07. So that Rising Stars, we actually had probably the 4 fastest times of our morning session here in the miles. Lance of Palos Verdes, 4:20.18. Mitchell, 4:20.22. Armstrong, 4:20.83. Those all convert to sub 420 efforts in the 1600 meters. Frias of St. John Bosco, 4:22.36. Savely of Cap.
If we show emotion